Motion by Lundegaard, second by. I'll second. Buckner, roll call please.
Stroman,
Yes.
Buckner,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bonnegaard.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Comments by the public? Does anybody here in the public want to step forward and make some comments? Feel free to at this time. If not, we will move on to Resolution 202-31002, updating the facsimile signature of the Finance Director. Lori, tell us all about this.
Every time that we get a new finance director or change mayors or there's new personnel that have to sign off on the bank accounts, we have to do this by resolution. And since Lane is leaving and Kagan is going to be the new finance director, plus we have a new cashier, so things have changed, so we just need your guys' approval.
And this is just for Kagan's signature?
Huh?
Or Kagan and
This is going to be taking Lane off and putting Kagan on. And it's just for the stamp. And we'll be signing all the papers again like we normally do.
And once we do this, they have to stay for 5 years.
Yes, correct.
I heard 10.
That wasn't stipulated.
The lawyer says 10.
Lawyer says 10. Fine print.
So,
Perfect.
wel-
Yeah, right.
welcome. All right. Well, I assume we just need to make a motion.
I'll move.
Mr. Stroman,
Second.
second by Radcliffe. Roll call, please.
Buckner,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Bonnegaard,
Yes.
Stroman.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. It's now official. Or will be soon. All right, quarterly report from Fayette County Chamber. Tasha.
I have a couple pass outs.
Perfect. I'll just listen real carefully.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First, I want to recognize someone in the crowd, Sophia. You want to stand real quick? So she's in our leadership class this year, so that's why she's in attendance. So everyone that's in the class is required to attend a city council meeting, village town meeting, or a commissioners meeting. So she's here today to do that, and she's representing Jimmy L's Barbecue. Do you have any words? Perfect, awesome. Hope I embarrassed you. She's getting ready to go to Lincoln. The leadership class will be heading to Lincoln tomorrow. They're going to be going to the state capitol as well as the state chamber office. They're also going to be touring the governor's mansion. So she's going to have a busy schedule this week.
How many people are in that class?
15 this year.
I know we've seen several members of your class come through here from time to time.
Yes, the city currently has 4 students in our class this year, so that's awesome. Good numbers. I don't think anyone else. Yeah, that's everyone. Okay, so as far as my quarterly report, so we just expired out of the contract for 22-23. We're now in the 23-24 agreement. So just as I've been reviewing this, there's a lot of things I want to just improve on. So definitely meeting with my members continuously, as well as I really want to work on meeting with non-members and just really figuring out more of what business needs are in the community, as well as working closer with Jeff Clare. We're continuing to make available our commercial properties, which is on our website, as well as if you come into our office, that is available as well. I want to make it more user-friendly rather than just posting on there. I want it to be clickable. I want you to be able to go to a link and also get more information, not just on our website. Other things we're providing still is the housing list. So that's another thing that everyone's constantly calling, asking for that housing list. We have people walk in the door. I email a lot. It's also out there on our webpage. And I'm thinking of other places of where can we also post it to where it's more available, because my office hours are only open 2 days a week. And so if someone's trying to walk in, like where's another walkable place like the library or something like that, we can distribute that too. Newcomer packets, we're still providing those. I actually just filled those again last week. So if those are running out, we just need to know. Pretty much, I think it's pretty slow right now, but I mean, I do know that there's a lot of new people coming in, and that information is greatly appreciated to them. As far as our tours, I have not given a tour yet since I've started. I did have one from WNCC that was asked, but that one actually got canceled, so I'm kind of, I've never done a tour yet, so if anyone wants to just take a tour just to be kind of my dummy, that'd be great. Let's see, my relocation information, that's another thing I really haven't done a lot with, but I think that'll be starting to pipe up more as time goes on. That really fulfills my contract. There's not much more listed that we're currently doing with the city. Any questions about that? Okay. In your packets, I've given you a list of my members. So we're up to 261 members, which is awesome. That's significantly up since I've started, so I'm pretty proud about that number. And I hope to eventually hit 300 come next year. Other things in your packet are the upcoming events. So this Friday, we have a Chamber Social Hour at Winners. That begins at 5:30. I just got off the phone with Ken, and we're going to be having trivia that night, which starts at 6, and then he's going to be having food and drink specials. As far as ribbon cuttings coming up, November 3rd at 2 o'clock, the Doves program, they just relocated to downtown. They will be having their open house celebration that day on November 3rd, 2 o'clock. Coming up with the holidays, excuse me, we're going to have a new thing called, sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. Coming up, November 24th through December 3rd, we're going to call it Shop Cheyenne County Days. So this is kind of like our small business Saturday happenings, but we want to expand it out because there's lots of things going on, and we really want people to shop local this year. So that's kind of on 2 pages. One that I handed out that's going to explain more in details of the, like the dates and all that's going on. But Shop Cheyenne County Days are coming up, as well as our stamp program card, which will begin November 18th. Our meeting of the members will be on November 28th, starting at 11:30 and going till noon. That's going to be at Security First Bank. And what that entails, it'll be all of our committee chairs that will be presenting on what we've done this year and what you can look forward to in the future. So each one of them will be talking. That'll take about a half hour if anyone wants to attend that. It does not require RSVP, but it is good to know just for seating arrangement purposes. And then I've also listed our November and December chamber social hours, so you can put those on your schedule. Save the date is our chamber annual banquet, January 20th, which will begin at, I believe actually 5 o'clock, not 5:30. You guys have the handout. What does it say? 5:30. It does? Okay, 5:30, I'm sorry. So go ahead, 5:30 on January 20th, save that date. Yeah. Oh, it does say 5? Okay, that's what I was thinking. It does say 5. Yeah, I think it starts at 5. So that's what our flyer says. But yeah, there'll be a social hour before everything. Yeah, absolutely. And then I just mentioned about leadership classes headed to Lincoln tomorrow, and then board ballots are also due by tomorrow. So if you haven't turned in your chamber board ballot, please do that. By end of day tomorrow, we'll be announcing November 27th, which is this Friday. November 27th, oh my God, October. I'm sorry, that should be October 27th. Anything else? That's really all I had today. Just kind of, there's lots of things going on. So keep up to date on our website, as well as just give us a call. I send out monthly newsletters that gives a lot of information in there, but it's very good stuff. We have a Shop Cheyenne County Facebook page that we really encourage businesses to post in there. I've just posted like four different entries today. So stay up to date with us.
Shop Cheyenne County and City days, what were those days again?
November 24th through December 3rd.
Basically,
So it's like 10 full days, yeah. So it's like your Black Fridays, your small business Saturday, there's like a Giving Tuesday, Cyber Monday. So like for Cyber Monday, we have a lot of local businesses that have websites that people don't know about. So we want to really encourage people to even go to their websites and just shop that way as well on Mondays and stuff like that.
Are you putting these in the paper as they come up?
Yeah, so we're working with the paper. There's actually something we're working together with the paper on a gift buying guide. So like gifts for her, gifts for him type of thing. So they're working with us on the holidays. Forrest is here. He knows now about all my happenings. So yeah.
So then that way, at least they can get the paper and then go to the website. Or
Yes, absolutely. Yep, newspaper, radio station, we usually hit pretty hard.
Unless they're old school.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm one of those paper people. I like to look at the paper.
Well, awesome. Lots going on.
The pumpkin, where do you vote at?
Okay, so that's not through the chamber, that's through me as an individual.
Okay.
So me as an individual is partnering with the Cheyenne County Grounds and Buildings and Grounds, Tom Payne. Yeah, did I say his name right? So you just submit to him, and he will display it across the courthouse.
Down at the county, oh,
Yep,
the courthouse?
the courthouse.
Okay, okay, cool.
So that's a pumpkin decorating contest, or you can carve. We have about 40 pumpkins right now, so that includes our 4-H pumpkins that you've probably seen on Facebook, the little wood pumpkins. So, yeah, it's pretty fun. And that's open to individuals and businesses. So we actually don't have any businesses submitted, so I mean, any business that wants to just put their, logo on a pumpkin and call it good, I mean, that's a way to get your name out there. That's why the chamber's supporting it and pushing it, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, I thought that was neat, especially with the holidays and.
Yeah, it's kind of a cheaper way to, get your name out there.
Yeah. You got some good ones too.
Yeah, we have some very creative people in this county.
It's your favorite time of year.
Right.
Anything else? Okay,
I appreciate you stopping by. Talking about what's going on.
okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Now we need Lance to come up here and talk about a couple of equipment purchases.
So as we budgeted for in the 2024 fiscal year, I'm here to get you guys permission on moving forward with a greens roller and then our range cart and an additional picker for that range cart. Our current roller is 12 to 15 years old and does not work. The motor is not good, runs for about 3-4 seconds and dies, and I don't think it's worth it. So as you can see in your memo, there is Colorado Golf and Turf, where we get our golf carts, and they've been very good to us. They're our nearest Salsco dealer. I think that's the best roller on the market. I had spoken to them all spring and summer, hoping to get their 36-inch model. They misspoke, and they can't get them until next August. And so, as you can see in the memo, they do have a 73-inch roller, so twice the size. It would be an additional $3,600 more than we had budgeted for, but with what we have in the equipment reserve, that would cover that. But twice the width for $3,600, and that would also save on labor as well. And there's also an attachment for it that would come. Part of it's a brush, so when we aerate our greens twice a year, that would be in that. And then, as you can see, that I put in there, I really want to take Hillside to the next level, and part of that is hosting Nebraska Golf Association tournaments. And I've been in contact with, his name is Ben Vigil, happened to go to college with him, so I have a little bit of an in with him, trying to get, the Nebraska State AM is my #1 goal, but that's probably a 5-6 year plan. So we'll start with the senior AM, a junior, a mid-junior, mid-AM, some things like that. They host about 12 events a year. And so, as you can see in that memo that I put, in order for them to host for us to host a tournament, you have to have a greens roller, because when they come in, they say leave the rough this length, make the greens this fast, and so on and so forth. And that's one way to get the greens rolling perfect, is a greens roller. And we had demoed one of these 36-inch rollers from Colorado Golf and Turf, and it made a huge difference. I feel like the golf course is in excellent shape, especially after the winter that we had. And I know it's October, and here we are looking at closing the golf course in a few weeks. but they have that one, we can go get it, and then we have it for next year. And then same goes with the range picker. They have it. We've actually been demoing it just to see if it would work, because right now our old range cart has, again, it's a 1997 and was on its last leg. I had been using our Gator, our John Deere Gator, and a golf cart, and I just don't want to have a golf ball go through the windshield of that, and then we're spending money on a windshield or side glass. So, like I said, we'd planned for it in the budget. The only thing is that $3,601 would be the over budget, but we have enough in the equipment reserve after the transfer this year. So, other than that, that's.
How long out have you been planning for these purchases?
I wanted a range cart last year, but with coming in May, and then with the fiscal year starting, things like that. So we kind of had put it in. It was planned for next year, but we kind of moved a fairway unit. So you can see our next reserve purchase, equipment reserve purchase, would be the 2027 budget cycle. And so we just kind of moved the range picker up 1 year. And so I've been thinking about it for 4 or 5 months now. I think when Lane had me work on my budget request, I had it done in June. And that's when I was hoping for that 36-inch roller, but they are still seeing side effects on COVID from that, apparently, because they can't get them. They misspoke, and they say August of next year, but then so we have a month to use it, and then the season's over, and we're kind of out that. So
So you've got 13,250 budgeted, the invoice is 8750.
so then the picker, I'm looking at a new picker, like the roller basket thing would be the $4,500.
That's okay, I didn't see
Yeah.
an
It's
invoice
just-
for that.
No, so that's just I don't know, did you attach that picture, Lane? There was a
I've got
picture from the
picture,
catalog,
picture
yeah.
here,
So,
Okay.
would have to order that, but like I said, golf season's about done. Range balls will probably be done being hit here in a few months, or a few weeks, sorry. So yeah, that would be that 13,250 and then 27,601 for the roller.
All right, just so we keep this straight, so we'll do the range picker first.
Okay.
So, any more questions on the range picker before we ask for motion?
I'm just gonna make a comment. I'm old enough to remember when the range picker was my buddy, getting paid 50 cents an hour to go do this, or 25 cents an hour, I don't remember which.
Those were good
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, this would be a 2019 cart, and I think with that and then the picker itself, I think we could pick our pretty good sized range in about 20 minutes compared to if we were to use the old cart when I first got here last May. I think it was Trey spent an hour and a half because it goes about 2 miles an hour. And so now that you guys are so generous in giving my seasonal help a $2 raise, I appreciate that. I'd rather have them spend 20 minutes versus an hour and a half.
And is this one of those deals where you have to basically shut down the range, right? They're not driving around?
No, the range is open. It's a caged cart, like an actual range
That
picking
sounds like
cart.
extra fun.
Come on out, yeah. I know the feeling because I've picked range and people try to hit you. But
Well, I can't hit something that stands still, so that's just
Middle of
out of the
fairway.
question for me. Any more questions on the picker? All right, do we have a motion? All right, motion by Radcliffe, second by Montgomery.
Sherman?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Bondegaard?
Yes.
Stroman?
Yep.
Buckner?
Yes.
Motion passed. The range picker has passed 5-0. Any questions on the roller?
The 3601 coming out of the reserves, how big a hit is that against your reserve? Like how much would you have left?
so about just under $10,000, Lane. By the time with $25,000 transfer, we're at like 24,298, so we'll have just over 9,000.
Okay.
And then that-
plenty enough if something else comes up.
If something major, yeah, we used some of the equipment reserve for our irrigation box, is the easiest way to describe it, what controls the panel, and so we use some of that. So yeah, we will have enough
Okay.
for something like that, and then nothing planned being used for or purchased with the equipment reserve until 2027.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for some of these tournaments that you're hoping to get, you said that
Nebraska Golf
Nebraska
Association.
Golf Association.
Yep, so that's every state has an association or an area. Sometimes it's like the Southwest Golf Association, but Nebraska Golf Association, and what they're doing now is a lot of Eastern Nebraska tournaments. The Scottsbluff Country Club just hosted the Nebraska State Am. Former football player like Danny Woodhead, he comes out and plays in it. And so they're getting a little traction out here. I'm really good buddies with the director of golf in Scottsbluff, so I called him, and I called Ben immediately. He goes, yeah, absolutely, we'll come out and view the course, and we'll get you an event, whether it be the junior or things like that. Because a lot of them right now are Hastings and East, so Lockland Country Club and things like that. So I think we have a spectacular golf course. Like I said, it's in great shape now, but I think personally we're at 10% of where it's going to be. There's a lot of changes, just mowing and things like that, and fine details that I think we can take it to the next level. So many people come and say, wow, this is a gem. Well, I don't want it to be a gem. I want it to be known. So.
What other tournaments do we currently host that are not just like fundraisers or stuff for the community?
Our big two that the golf course personally runs is our Hillside 4-Ball Championship, which is at the end of August. Dietrich Distributing sponsors it. It's a 2-person 4-ball, so you get to play your own ball for 2 days. I'm trying to make that a signature tournament as well because, as you mentioned, all the fundraisers are 4-person scrambles, 3-person scrambles, things like that. There are a few people that want to play their own ball for a couple days, what golf was intended to be. So, and then Oktoberfest, I think we had an excellent turnout. We had 36 teams at Oktoberfest, and we had 36 teams last Saturday in a tournament. And so those are the ones that we run. And then I know you had asked for it at that CASA tournament. I kind of did some background thinking on fundraising tournaments. No one ever thinks about it, but the hospital, CASA, Alan Hartzler Memorial, or Mike Hartzler Memorial, excuse me. If you do a little background of what they all raise and what the hospital does outside of just the golf tournament, it's about $75,000 raised. Because the hospital does a lot, but the Health Center Foundation, they get a lot of sponsors just for the golf tournament that we don't see, and that they create revenue from us, but it's because of that. So it's about a give or take $75,000 is what I've kind of come up with by asking people.
And that all goes back to the community, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just an awesome perk for, having the golf course. That it can be used for local fundraisers that,
Mhm.
You don't have that opportunity if you don't have a golf course. But, the other important thing is, having tournaments, bringing people from outside, because we know there's a lot of people that stop at our golf course just to play it. So to give more people that opportunity would be nice.
So I was reading where you said that the NGA has certain criteria. How far off are you from meeting? I know you said a 5-6 year plan.
So that's to get like the state amateur, which is the big one.
Okay.
We'll get 120 players from, all over the state, and they even bring in people from out of state. Like, you don't have to be part of the NGA. But they have every tournament. So I'm hoping next year to host like the junior, Nebraska Junior Amateur. And so that's like,
The course is just about ready then, is what you're saying?
yeah, this, like I said, we have that one that's 12 to 15 years old. It takes 3.5 hours to roll. And sometimes these tournaments start at 9 o'clock in the morning. So by the time you get the mower out at 5:30, the roller right behind them, and it's a little tough. This one would be beneficial with that 73 inches. That's going to be an hour and a half, and so it's going to be extremely nice and a little heavier. A lot of people, I personally like firm and fast greens. I think they roll better, and so that's what they want. The NGA, and if we get some other stuff, I got some the NJCAA, which is the Junior College Association. They're looking at hosting a tournament in April here, and so they want fast and firm. And you can only mow and dry it out so much, but if you roll the imperfections, and you we have some greens on the backside, as a few of you know, that you could put some pins where you don't want them. If you roll them, have fun.
Under the balls, you got me definitely rolling sticks. So we talked about that. But okay, so the equipment basically is just to enhance the playability of the
Yep.
course and entice those organizations to come in and say, yeah, this course is ready.
I think Mr. Radcliffe would attest. Wild Horse probably has the best greens in a 300-mile radius. I'm probably, with some agricultural practices, I'm probably 16 months out from getting about 90% there, but they roll and they're firm.
You want them to be like Wild Horse?
100%.
Want them to be like Wild Horse?
Absolutely. Best greens I've ever played on is Wild Horse, and I've played all over the country, and
These greens are,
pure. The best way is to pure, and that's what I want our greens. If you get them pure and you get a roller out there, that's what I want to. I love.
do a couple of links holes too.
I'm, like I said, that 10% of where we are, I'm gonna make it a little bit better by some tougher conditions around the greens.
Sounds good. Any improvement that, like the mayor said, to bring people into the community and see our town, expose what we offer, I'm not opposed to, so.
Everybody happy? All right. Do we have a motion for the Greens roller? Motion by Buckner, second by Stroman. Roll call, please.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Bonnefield?
Yes.
Stroman?
Yes.
Buckner? Sherman?
Yes. Motion passes 5-0.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Think that truck that comes in from Denver every day would pick them up for me? That brown truck?
Absolutely.
Just kidding.
We'll do whatever we can. And now, I'd like to get in on the mower.
Good evening, Council. Tom Von Segren, Parks, Cemetery, and Aquatic Center. I'm on your agenda for replacement of a front deck mower for City Parks Department. What we're looking for is a new front deck mower and adding in a snow thrower attachment we haven't had before, and would help us at the cemetery and at the parks and around town on our sidewalks. During the 2023 budget session, $46,000 was appropriated for the purchase of this mower. We've previously traded for a mower of this type in 2020. It replaced a 2011 mower, so it was 9 years old. This year I'm coming before you to replace a 2014 model, so again 9 years old, and it has 3,600 hours of operation. Bids were submitted by 21st Century Equipment of Sydney and LL Johnson of Denver. That's all on your bid tab sheet there. Both equipment suppliers recognized our participation with Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing, who sets up competitively awarded contracts for goods and services for government organizations, and we qualify under that. Front deck mowers are used in Sydney City Parks and at Greenwood Cemetery on a daily basis throughout the spring and summer. The everyday performance keeps the parks, cemetery, and ball fields in shape for all public use. In the winter, we switch the mower decks out and put on a rotary broom or a blade, and now with this purchase tonight would be a snow thrower when we have a heavier, wetter snow that those two other items can't throw to the side. This would be a general fund expenditure. Funds would come from the capital equipment purchase budget that is part of the city's 5-year budgeting process. The full price of the John Deere front deck mower and snow thrower is $51,566. The trade-in value of the city used machine and mower deck is $4,750, with a net impact to the budget of $46,816. And so that puts me $816 over for what had been budgeted. I would submit to City Council for approval that bid for the front deck mower and snow thrower from 21st Century Equipment of Sydney. And the projected availability of that machine is March of 2024, so we'll get to use it part of the winter and then all summer. The Toro equipment from LL Johnson isn't available until October or November, a year from now, at the soonest, and their bid was quite a bit higher regardless, so I would recommend the local purchase through 21st Century Equipment tonight. Any other questions?
Yeah, you said that March would allow you to use that for part of the winter. I don't want any winter after.
You would see, and I came to write these things down so that I would look at.
That just scares me. the grass and start growing and anything. Or stuff. I do appreciate the local purchase when possible, and it gets us earlier. Yeah, you know, years ago, we were looking into getting into
What's
the
These things have gold fittings on them?
Just around the tires, yeah.
Trade, should be trade value.
So other than the amount of hours on the current mower, is there anything wrong with it? Just wear and tear?
Yeah, wear and tear, things are loose and sloppier on it, yep. We don't use the snow machines that much, so the rotary broom's in good shape yet, so we're keeping that for this machine. We're keeping the snow blade, so we're keeping 2 attachments already, so that's a savings to, that are coming, yeah,
And then are
coming to.
we higher on the John Deere blade because we are local?
Higher on the,
On the purchase, the 116? The 2 different bids, you said, or,
21st century is 51, 60s.
like the second one.
Then the
So
tr-
it's on, it looks like it's 48, 816,
and the other one is 62.
and the other one's 62. So
All right, I read the wrong one, so, sorry. That's all I have. Other than
Okay.
like Brad said, I much appreciate keeping the money local anyway.
yeah.
Said you had this in your equipment.
Right, yep, yep. We're not buying anything at the cemetery this year, so that one's growing, that equipment budget, and then I'll come to you next fall for a couple things there. But we'll get through this season with the gators and the mowers we have at the cemetery. So,
make a motion to approve.
All right, motion by Strong, second by Bonnegar, roll call, please.
Bonnegar,
Yes.
Strowman,
Yes.
Buckner,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Council, thank you.
Thank you. Work on that. And
December 23rd.
Mr. Palmer.
Good evening, Mayor.
To us with a way to make some money for the city, it sounds like.
Well, good evening, Mayor, Council, Mike Palmer, Electric Superintendent. In front of you, you should have a memo and an interlocal agreement with the Village of Lodgepole. A few weeks back, Lodgepole approached us about giving some assistance to their electrical system. They had one member crew, he resigned, so they're down to one person with no electrical experience. So they reached out to us to see if we would have an appetite to help them. Morally, I feel like we should, just to try to keep someone's life. This isn't a trade you should be doing if you don't know what you're doing. So we drew up the interlocal agreement. Jay has gone through it. It will cover all costs, plus a small adder to just kind of take care of some wear and tear on the equipment and things of that nature. Really, that is it in gist. It's a 30-day contract, and it rolls over month to month, so with a 30-day out. So if it doesn't work out, we give them a 30-day notice and say, you need to go find someone else, and hopefully they can hire someone that's qualified to be working on their electrical system. Under MIST, the number 663, probably I just want to point out, we understand that the city's foremost responsibility is to our own citizens. So in the event of some, a storm that came through here, they are in the understanding that we are, our citizens come first. So we very well may say no if we don't have the manpower to help them. So I would recommend entering into agreement with the Village of Lodgepole under a couple stipulations. They're actually taking it to their board in November, and I want to do a review of their electrical system. So basically, this is just giving Brad the authorization to sign it once we kind of look at their system and say, we're not putting ourselves in harm's way either.
if we approve them, you're gonna go check out what they've got and
Yeah,
make sure you're,
yeah, make sure we're not getting into something we don't want to get into.
how often do we plan on sending a person over there? I'm assuming it would be,
So it's going to be on request. So we won't have anyone there. We're not going to, it's not a stipulated amount of hours or anything to that nature. It's going to be, hey, we could sure need your help with this particular cutout change out or something of that nature. But there's no set hours at all. They're
I'm just saying
routine.
from there, I mean, the person that that retired, I'm assuming was working a certain amount of
So
hours a week or.
they had an agreement with Chapel prior to this, and they said they were there a couple times during the course of the prior year. But
We're not talking 2 or 3 times a week, we might be talking 3 or 4 times a
well,
week.
Lodgepole also had a qualified electrical person on staff at that point too. So I really don't know. At the end of the day, it is our right to say we can't handle we can't sacrifice the manpower right now. We can't help you. We did provide them. So we're part of, NMPP has a mutual aid program that in fact, last month we were down in Julesburg helping in Julesburg with a semi that came and ran over 5 poles. So we sent 2 pieces of equipment and 2 staff members down there to help them in that situation. This would be a little bit more than that. So that would be more of an emergency situation. This may be some basic operation as well. So a fuse blows on a transformer. They very well may call us down there to do that. And they probably should.
So we'd be doing more of the heavy lifting then?
It would be a little bit, I would say it's more than just an emergency situation. This would be some operations as well, but no routine type thing. So meter readings not included in this, things of that nature, stuff that they could handle themselves. We really want to be good neighbors more than anything. This isn't something that, I don't really want to sacrifice our crew to go there, but I also want to be a good neighbor and keep their staff safe. Yep. Or completely get out of the interlocal agreement as well. So
I read through it, and it seems like it's pretty airtight that basically Lodgepole will be responsible for everything but the body, right?
we will probably run, so my expectations of this is the manpower and our equipment, we're taking our own equipment down there and going to use our own equipment. I haven't seen their equipment, but I would imagine our equipment's probably, we're familiar with it, and it very well maybe a little newer and in better shape than what they have, and I'm speculating, of course. I haven't been down there to actually physically look at that, but our crew knows our equipment, so they would pay for the manpower, the equipment time, any parts or hardware that they would need that they don't. If we have it, we'll procure it, send them a bill for that as well.
And they're paying for the mileage too, right?
They are paying, yeah, IRS standard mileage.
The only thing I didn't see was if somebody gets hurt on the job, which insurance would that fall under as far as like workman's comp or something like that?
I think there's an indemnification.
Yeah, there is.
Portion to that contract. It's been a little bit since we've.
It's number 5.
looked at it, but there is an indemnification.
Lodgepole assumes the risk of damages, loss, cost, and expense and agrees to indemnify the hold harmless the city of Sydney.
Right, but would they pay for our person? If it's our,
Probably not. They indemnify us, which means that if we end up having to spend money for something, then they would have to pay us back. But your insured is your insured. So the person that's going to cover that is going to be us.
in the event they won't workman's comp and stuff.
Right.
They don't have to compensate us for that at all?
The indemnification would say yes, they could.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it's a big word.
No, that's all right. No, no, that means that they would have to pay us for any losses due to their problems. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then, training, have you considered maybe having that person that they have be trained?
So he will be out there with us and hopefully picking up a few things. There's nothing in this interlocal agreement that specifically addresses training, but when we met, he met with us as well as one of their board representatives, and he wants to learn. I mean, it's clear that he's just not at that level yet. So he will be there.
But we don't
But-
want the liability
but yeah,
of saying
it's-
that we would be the ones
Right,
trying
right,
to
right,
train.
right, absolutely, yeah.
So we would be explaining things that we're doing and hopefully bringing him along in the process. I don't know their apprenticeship program at all, so, or even if they have one, this is just us trying to help them.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking with that one person, the more that we show them, the more we.
Yeah, I mean, like for us, for instance, we roll two guys on every electrical call. We run a two-man call schedule. Having one person out there is not a safe thing, in my opinion. So there's a reason. A lot of things can be handled with one person, but we always want two people there just for safety. So hopefully they'll get someone hired that has some experience, and then they can kind of take care of their own stuff.
As long as they don't come from us.
Yeah. I never thought of that.
Get out there and be like, this ain't so hard.
That's all I gotta do.
Right, right. That's when you show up and remember that $2 raise. Sounds good to me.
I'd move to approve. I'd second this.
Motion by Stroman, second by Ratcliffe. Roll call, please.
Stroman,
Yes.
Butner,
Yes.
Sherman, Radcliffe,
Yes.
Lundgaard.
Yes.
So, thank you. I'll go through their system, and then we'll have, assuming it goes good, we'll get with you, and you can sign on the dotted line, assuming that Lodgepole also wants to sign on the dotted line. I do want to point out that I was the 25-cent picker at one point when I was 10 or 12 years old. It was per bag, though.
Oh, really?
So I got paid by the bag. It wasn't per hour or whatever. I mean, it was.
All right. We have made it all the way down to choosing a date for our strategic plan review. I'll just read this letter since David's not here. January 2023, the City Council will workshop to create the City Council strategic plan for the city for the next 5 years. The plan was revisited in May, and as an agenda item on May 9th, the City Council agenda at that time hadn't been that far in the plan, and there was not much to revise. It was suggested the City Council revisit that plan next month as a council work session. I think it deserves more than a 10 to 15-minute agenda item of discussion. And we have a new council member that hasn't had a chance to discuss the plan yet. If the City Council agrees, it usually works well to have work sessions over the lunch hour, but I've suggested a few dates that will work for my schedule. And can the City Council please look over the dates and let me know what the thoughts are. The dates are November 15th, November 16th, November 20th, November 29th, and November 30th. Certainly will give them, but just one more for everybody here that, again, this is a strategic plan that we went over. It will be a public meeting, so that if people are interested in seeing maybe for the first time our strategic plan or helping us make changes or get to where we're going with our strategic plan, are certainly welcome. But unfortunately, us five have to come up with a date. And personally, I think the sooner the better. The 15th would be the day after our council meeting, and we could make sure
Wednesdays are out for me. I've got,
to go through Wednesdays. Okay, so now we're down
Thursday the 16th would be perfect, if that
Thursday
works.
the 16th. Well, gentlemen, that's a really bad day for me. I think it's a good day for you.
Monday the 20th?
I'm thinking Monday the 20th.
Monday the 20th?
I'm
We're talking about lunchtime here, right?
Well, I can do the 16th if you just passed over that, because I mind a little bit. November 16th is fine with me.
Parks out.
Works out.
Oh,
Okay, I can do the 16th or the 20th.
16th is good.
So the 16th, we like a motion on that, or we just do it?
Lunch?
I think we just do
You
it
just do it. There's no, you don't have to vote.
So like what time? Noon?
noon,
Noon.
November 16th.
November 16th. There's official. And, unfortunately, Mr. Scott has given every ounce of his health for the city for the last couple of days, and he's taking it easy to see if he can come back tomorrow and help us out with some visitors. So, he's here to go over our, city manager's report. I will, mention some things. Do I do it now?
Well, he's got a couple of different ones, two of them, and then I'll let you talk.
Okay.
Tuesday, October 31st is the trunk or treat, and there's 54 trunks.
Wow.
And from 4 to 6, we hope to see everybody out there and dress warm because it's gonna be cold.
Well, that's the only good thing about Halloween is you can put on a couple extra layers and
And I
if you have to.
can't serve out of the trunk of my car.
You can serve candy.
Candy, yes.
Cinnamon-ish.
I want to go to your trunk or treat.
You could have your own. You could have your own at 6:15.
And then Saturday, December 2nd, we're planning a holiday in Hickory. So there's more to come on that.
Announcements. Is that all the parade? Fun stuff. More candy.
That's all.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just talk about those two things. Okay. So, now let's get to Jay, who's going to say nothing
Nope, I'm,
at the 14th time.
I was gonna say, I'm in court, but yeah, that's just normal for me, so that's fine.
Okay.
No more farmer's market, so I'm good.
Okay. Autumn, anything else you want to add? Mike? Kagan, I almost messed it up.
There you go, you're getting it. No, I'm good.
Dean?
Just one thing, tomorrow's the last day of grass cans. So make sure you get them out and get them done. Don't call me next week.
So if somebody drags their can out next Wednesday, it's just gonna sit there for a really long time until they either figure it out or... All right, perfect. I think cans are done. Last chance, get it filled tonight. Lane,
This is officially my last meeting.
officially.
Officially. Paul was ready to get me out the door, I think, before it started, but,
I was trying to figure out why it was.
so I just want to say thank you to the council. I've enjoyed working with you all for the last 3 years. It's been real, it's been fun, but it ain't been real fun. So.
That's hurtful. Well, we really appreciate everything you've done.
I thoroughly enjoyed my time here, and I am excited for my next chapter, but sad to see this one ends.
Well, we know where to find you.
You do.
Tom?
Parks are putting sprinklers to bed, we're blowing out water lines and that, and we've closed all the sport restrooms that aren't heated. So we're down to just the heated restrooms and porta potties.
All right. Any question for you? Is it too late to winterize your own lawn?
Never too late.
Still do it?
Still salvage your boat.
Anything else? No?
No.
Joe?
Nothing, sir.
Tasha? Winter social hour and trivia contest. They'll let you play the machines for free? Yeah. All right. Burke?
Mr. Palmer, thank you for all your efforts on the streetlights. You were here last time, I couldn't tell you that, but you got them up by Oktoberfest. Way to go. And then is there any, can you give us a 1-minute update on the solar project? Is it started yet, or is it?
So they're still going over through some contracts, last I heard. I would anticipate a spring start.
I keep meaning to drive by there, I never remember.
There has been no movement. Since you asked, the generation project is a spring kickoff too. I had a meeting with them today, so hopefully we will get an early spring and start putting foundations in the ground for the gen project.
That's all I got.
I was gonna read this lovely letter that we got.
Some of us got.
Well, it's really addressed to the city, even though it's got my name on it.
Said the line one more time, I'm okay.
So this says, "My name is Alex Weiss, and I wanted to reach out with a quick note. This winter, my wife and I will be leaving Kansas and moving to our family's ranch north of Lodgepole. I will be working at the insurance store in Sydney, and we could not be more excited to join the community. Oktoberfest was my first weekend in town, and I was so impressed with the atmosphere. A clean and friendly town with a lot of pride. It is obvious leadership roles for Sydney are filled with individuals devoting a lot of time and effort. Just wanted to say thank you, and I look forward to connecting soon. Alex." Just thought that was really nice. Someone took the time to write a handwritten letter to the city, and they look forward to moving to the city of Sydney.
Looking forward to being the greatest city in the world. Fantastic. Right? Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
Fantastic. Brock?
I'll say something this time. So, first I wanted to congratulate House Number 2, 12th and Forest, which I believe is on the north side, on the decorations. They won the House decorations for the yard or whatever it's called. What is it?
Spookiest yard.
Spookiest yard. And if you guys haven't seen it, I drive around the north side at least once or twice a week, and they did an excellent job.
It's
Like
impressive.
what's that?
Really impressive.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, you go by there and you're like, you know what, just, they win, you know? They have them on Facebook, I think, under the Keep Sydney, yeah, and I looked at all of them. I kind of have to since I'm married to the person, but yeah, we saw that one and I was just like, I mean, even in the daytime, just cool. So if you get a chance, go by and at least look at that one. Again, I want to thank Tasha for the pumpkin competition. I mean, again, it's a great way to get the kids involved, just people involved, just, you know, kind of, again, set Sydney apart from a lot of communities that we do things that want to incorporate everybody and kind of usher in the holidays and get us all in the mood. That goes with number 4, chamber all the things that you guys are doing to get the community involved, that you're doing to keep the money in town, that you're pushing and really recognizing your members and doing everything you can to make it worth their while to be a part of that organization. So I'm really impressed and thankful for that, Tasha. So many businesses come into town, as Paul just read about the insurance family coming in and the ribbon cuttings and things of that nature. And I encourage everybody to, when you see that, get out there and give them a big Sydney welcome. Let them know that we appreciate that they've chosen our town and community to support and be supported by, and just help them realize they made a good decision to come to Sydney and provide new revenue stream and contribute monetarily to Sydney. Like we discussed earlier, get a paper, you know, again, that just supports another business here in Sydney. Not only does it have the local events going on and supporting our high school football team that's going to the playoffs this week, but it just helps to see those events that we're encouraging everybody to get into, get involved with, integrate yourself into those things that are indicative to you. If pumpkins are not your thing, then you know Christmas and Thanksgiving is coming around. So get your newspaper, highlight things, ask questions, call and get involved. And then, you know, you have those events right at your fingertip and put them on the refrigerator and make time to go. We got an attaboy for the street department from Hank with the chip sealing, right, and I sent that email out. I had a chance to visit with him and sit with him for a little bit, and he was just so proud of the attaboy from the outside individual, and I read it, and he was just supremely pleased that our street department provided such customer service and was diligent about making sure that they did a good job, which obviously reflects on our city as well as his department. I had a chance to visit with Chief about a week ago, and I'm not going to talk about the conversation, but if you don't think that we have a police chief that cares about this community, that makes time to endear himself not only to us but our youth, and does it in such a way that he doesn't even feel like he's the chief, he's just a concerned adult that wants to make sure that our children are safe, that they make good decisions, and he's available to them and his staff to help anyone get out of situations that they find themselves in. So I just want to say thank you, Chief, for caring about our community, caring about our children, and being involved much more than the bad stuff, and helping with the good stuff too, and then just providing those positive relationships for our community and our kids. So I think I've rambled on enough. I just continue to encourage our community to, as these holidays come in, spend money here in town. You know, it's like I said before, it's easy to jump on Amazon and Target and try to get your gifts and things of that nature. If we've seen from our own department heads, the supply chain is messed up. So you might get it, you might not get it, but you would definitely get it if you shop here in town. You walk in, you walk out, you get to meet some great people and continue to strengthen our revenue streams here in town. So just give it a thought before you run up to Cheyenne or down to Denver or wherever. Look around town and see what we offer. And all of that information, again, is available to you. So thank you.
Awesome. It's not rambling, there's just so much stuff to talk about this city that
Good stuff, too.
it takes a while. So I will start off, I'll finish off with what David probably would have talked about. Nebraska State Economic Development had 5 people here holding a meeting in Sydney, and we took them around to a few businesses, took them out to Freedom Yurt, and then Agri-Plastics to see what's going on with those places. Obviously, we wish we could have taken a lot more places, but most of these people are involved in getting some of these businesses here and doing things with them once they got here. It was pretty impressive. They chose to come to Sydney, Nebraska to hold their meeting. A few of them were discussing the lengthy drive from out here, but as Lance kind of talked about with holding tournaments and stuff out here, people don't like coming out here and driving all this way to lose to our sports teams, but they're going to have to start getting used to it because Sydney's going to continue to grow and get better. So that was really nice. We also got a letter that Autumn forwarded me. I'll go ahead and read this letter. I'll leave his name out just for the heck of it. But a gentleman from Denver who happens to be a police officer in Colorado, and came up here for Oktoberfest, as a lot of people do. They were driving and were rear-ended by an uninsured motorist. Officer Samuel Lovato and Officer Jonathan Heffley responded, and they were very professional, knowledgeable, and most important, had a great attitude and were very friendly. I never mentioned that he was a police officer to them. They advised him that they would complete a report and gave him a report number. He wanted to know how impressed he was by Officer Lovato and Heffley, and wanted us to pass that along to them, and I'm sure Joe saw that and done that as well. But again, a couple more commendations for our officers. Unfortunately, they had to deal with that, but as you can tell, he was, didn't dampen his trip at all. They had a very good time here, and also Glenda Conan, for those of you who remember, she's part of the Daughters of the American Revolution, wrote us a letter thanking us for proclaiming September 17th through the 24th Constitution Day and week, and giving her the time to talk. Wanted to let us know that she's given out 275 constitutions this year, 150 of them to fourth graders in the county public schools, and 125 of those to Potter and Sydney. So she wanted to thank us for that time, and that is a very important organization the head of. So I wanted to pass that along. And back to shopping in Sydney. We've all ordered stuff from Amazon and had it take more than 2 days. So, well better off just going into one of these shops in town. And if they have to order it for you, they will, and it'll be better, and it'll help them as we've hit up those businesses all the time to help us sponsor events and our teams and our kids' activities. So the least we can do is stop in there and buy as much stuff from them as we can, especially this holiday season when you're going to buy something for everybody in your family or as many people as possible. So please keep that in mind. And then speaking of our sports teams, unfortunately the young ladies on the volleyball team have ended their season but had an excellent season. Did really well. And again, I have to preface this. Most people don't know from looking at me, but for the first 25 years of my life, a golf course was used for cross-country meets, in my opinion. And our girls took their team to state. They finished 7th from 12th last year, working their way back up to a state championship event eventually. Tulsa Tinker got 3rd, and Kyla Kiffey was 20th. Also competed was Emily Bashavoy, Daisy Gardner, Kaya Hicks, and a young lady named Laurel Daystar is going to be something someday, I imagine. And then, so obviously, cross country is near and dear to my heart, and something that we can certainly do on this fine course here and keep practicing to make these teams. There was 98 kids out for cross country this year. That's again, like I said, it's a sport everybody goes out for, everybody competes. You get just as much playing time as your first stringers. Actually, technically more. And then lastly, the football team, 7th Friday. Right here.
Oh, 6.
Well, just like the chamber event, show up at 5. Show up popcorn, tailgate your seat, put up your poster, start making some noise.
I thought it was 6, but I'm not sure.
Well, like I said, if you're there at 5, it doesn't matter if it's 6 or 7. You just got more popcorn in you. So again, show up for that. Cheer those fellows on as they continue their march through all the other teams in the state. I think we should probably go home. All right, meeting adjourned at 6:34. Thank you for all coming.